So all these new stuff are well documented on the website, but for those of you who already played the game, this is what's coming up, or what's new to the game. So it's both compatible with 5.0 and 6.0. We have these new virtual time reports that Brett will show you just after the break. There is now really a pattern in the data, okay? So we have infected the data so that customer preference will vary from one region to the other. So the guys in southern Germany might like other types of blueberry than the guy in the northeast and northwest, okay? So the idea is that you really have to use the BI tool of SAP to actually understand the pattern of consumer behavior, okay? So that there is really something to find in data. We've created in production management a simpler by putting batches. So there's a batch operations now. We've made minor modification in the web interface. The gaps have been, we had comments by some of our users about some inconsistency between our financial statement and the US GAAP. So Biru entered into the system and she modified the financial statement according to the GAAP. So thank you, Biru, for everybody. So it's going to be useful to have like a very standardized GAAP. We're not accountants, so obviously it was really appreciated. And we have changed the username. They were clumsy for too long, difficult to remember. So we have another set of username, more easy to use by the students. The book, for those of you who already used the book, the type of revision we've made, in the chapter 1, we've added this notion of regional customer behavior. Chapter 2, in the master data, we create a master data with batch size, so this is the only modification. In chapter 4, mass conversion, so other transaction to show the student, demonstrate some tool to improve their performance in the game, and a completely revised chapter 6. We were using the reports from SAP, and thanks to Brett and Gilbert and the work that we did in the last fall, we've been able to develop virtual time reports, and that's coming up. So I'm going to tease you on this. So the electronic version of the book is already available. It's called a draft version. April is the release date, and we have to decide what we do about the selling or not selling. But we will, if we decide to sell, it's going to be like April or May that you can ask for September. The book, the chapter 6, obviously the book, most of it can be used right now. It's only chapter 6 that you need the September 08 version to be running to actually have these reports. So that's the reason, for example, Vivek just started to use the game, and you could actually use most of the new book except for chapter 6, which is not useful if you don't have the virtual time reports. The wheel. Let me give you just a glimpse before we go into break so that you have like an idea of what's coming up, and it's like a teaser. The main problem with gaming in SAP, a long game with multiple quarters, like a 2 years game into 1 day, is that time stays always at the same date, right? So everything in SAP has been based on the fact that your today's date and today's date is not tomorrow, and all the tools in SAP you cannot, some of them cannot be used because time is not moving forward. So we have not resolved everything, and there's a lot of stuff that needs improvement on this part, but we have customized virtual reports in the system. So ERP Sim is actually sending back the virtual time in the system so that with every transactional documents, we can actually draw some reports and make the link between virtual time and the actual timestamp. So when you retrieve a report, you don't have this problem. So this, for example, this is a profit center data, and you had like the actual time and date of each posting, and it's very difficult to match that against the time of the simulation game. So for the students, it's a lot of pain. It's not realistic, right? So what we did is, and some of the reports will change. Financial statement, for example, it has no impact on financial statement. We can draw at any time the financial statement. We can do the same with stock requirement list. Stock requirement list doesn't change. It's not impacted by the fact that time is moving forward. We've created, this is our main blueprints, and obviously you can read it. It's on the website. But we've created 4 types of reports. Those that relates to planning, procurement, production, and sales. So each function has virtual time reports that that students can use to play the game. Let me give you an example. And Brett will go in detail showing real data from a real simulation game with his students so that you see real data and what you can do with that. So here you have a sales order report where on the left-hand side, you have the quarter and the actual day of the simulation. So the student can follow in the game and see real virtual time moving forward. Competitive intelligence report. We're sending back data about the market. This is what comments we've got that students, they would be in real life able to go to another shop and see the price of the other competitors and better analyze their marketing strategy. So it's kind of like a Bloomberg feed into the system where you would have like data coming in about the average, the min, and the max. So you have data about what's going on into the market so you can retract your strategy. A production order schedule. You can actually schedule and see when it's going to start, how much setup time you have, when it's going to end, when you will have these production orders delivered to you with virtual day and time so that you can really have a scheduling strategy in your organization. And then we have production order tracking. So when it's a functionality that you can put delays between ordering and receiving so that now you can track production orders. So just imagine the discussion with the students. You have on the one hand salespeople saying, I have orders, I'm out of stock, make more production. And the shop floor is saying, we cannot produce, we don't have received yet. When are we receiving the new raw material? Well, you go to this report and you see, oh, it's coming in 2 days. And then I'll be able to start production, and you'll have production in about 3 days, but virtual days. You had a question? So those first 2 reports are not available right now? I knew you would ask this question. We'll come back to this, but the main idea is that to work, the new version has to be installed on the UCC side. So right now, if you're hosted in Milwaukee, they will only upgrade the new version of the client in the summer. So that's why these are special ABAP report that we've developed to put on the SAP box. Costing is also, and I know I have give me just 1 minute, like a teaser. Treasury management. It was impossible to demonstrate the power of SAP in managing cash flow before this, okay? Because time is moving forward and we have virtual day, we can predict when customer will be paying and when vendors will be paying. So you can actually have this future cash flow available to the students, so you can really teach them cash flow management, okay? So this new transaction will also be available so that you can actually not only plan your production, plan your procurement, but also plan your cash flow, which is, I think, a very important element in this game. So this is going to be the last part. When we return to the break, we'll re-begin in about 15 minutes. We will have Brett showing you all these reports on the live box. I want to talk to you about some bits and pieces about the ecology, what's coming up, and then we'll have Biru showing off some extension she did on her own at developing over and above at building a cube and a cockpit. So you'll see very interesting stuff. Thank you very much for your attention. Let's break out. Thank you.